Happy homecoming, CHS, and welcome to CISD-TV News. I'm Madeline Byers.
And I'm Andrew Reed. Today we'll take a look at the expansion in Celina, the Lady Cat volleyball season, the 2013 flu, and the Bobcat Brigade.
In 2009, Celina High School began the Bobcat Brigade, mainly for the purpose of running the touchdown flags. Over the years, the organization has evolved into much more. Victoria Seagrave reports.
After a controversial year, last year, the Bobcat Brigade has implemented new standards and principles under the leadership of Mr. Lemaire.
Pretty much just gave it a direction. They're good guys, and so my focus was to take good guys and make them great guys, and then implement things like etiquette, chivalry, as well as using a direction for getting crowd involvement in games, things like that, coming up with strategies, marketing, recruitment, to try to make it a brand almost.
Mr. Lemaire has done a fine job of turning it into one of the class organizations that we have on this campus.
It's more of an organization instead of a bunch of friends hanging out on the sidelines cheering on a team.
With new leadership comes new ideas. The Bobcat Brigade added new traditions to pump up our Bobcats.
We're doing this new thing with a push-up board. It's going to be really cool.
And he's also got in line and some plans to do things civically within the community, etc.
However, the program has not changed entirely.
To make a great support mechanism for our football teams.
To me, it gives me an opportunity to, be as passionate as I want to be and not looked at really weird, because that's my job, to be the most energetic guy out there.
The organization has made an impact for many reasons.
Probably all the inside jokes, just hanging out all the time, and then the ability to get these boys to become young men, being a part of that process.
Students have the ability to go out there and present themselves in leadership roles, something that is class, something that represents Celina the way that they're supposed to be represented. And Mr. Lemaire and the rules and regulations that have been set up for the Bobcat Brigade and the bylaws that have been brought forth absolutely surround that type of atmosphere, and I think it's a great organization.
Since last year, the Bobcat Brigade has taken new direction, both starting new traditions and keeping old ones. This has been Victoria Seagraves reporting for CISD-TV News.
Thanks, Victoria. You can see the Brigade in action tonight at Bobcat Field as the boys take on the Rancho Wolves at 7:30. It's our first home game on Bobcat Field, and it's homecoming.
Also, JV girls placed first last weekend in the cross-country meet, with Anna Presta taking first and Jackie Cassell taking second. JV boys and varsity girls took third, and varsity boys took fifth. In other sports news, the Lady Cat volleyball team is in district play with many games under their belt and goals in their minds. CISD-TV correspondent Sam Bruton reports.
The Celina Lady Cat volleyball team has made preparations all summer for this season. The Lady Cats lost to Argyle but defeated Carrollton Rancho, Aubrey, and Lone Star during district play. As the girls put in hours of practice, they are excited for the future.
So we've been playing since August, a lot of preseason games.
Really excited about district starting this year. I have a feeling we'll do better this year than we did last year.
We work really hard in preseason to start the season off right and to be able to come out strong and beat our district opponents.
This has been Sam Bruton for CISD-TV News.
Thanks, Sam. The Lady Cats do not have a game tonight due to homecoming festivities. However, they take on Argyle Eagles next Tuesday at home for their senior night.
Throughout Celina's history, we have grown in population and welcomed many new businesses to the Bobcat family. Considering the expansion on Highway 289 and many other new investments, Preston Morris reports on the growth in Celina.
Over the years, Celina has gone from a town with a few hundred people to well over 6,000.
Celina was begun southwest of here, out close to the old Celina Cemetery, and was a very prosperous community during that time.
When the group of people came into town, they decided that the lots were too expensive and decided to relocate right across from Founders Park and Prosper.
And there was a man that came to town, J. Fred Smith, that, in my opinion, was the entrepreneur of that time. And he proposed to these businessmen that he would build brick buildings around the square, and then they could move their businesses into his new brick buildings.
The merchants decided that the rent would be too expensive. Mr. Smith decided to go ahead and build the buildings anyway. Within a year, all the merchants had moved into his building.
That was really when the town began to grow, and that was around 1911. Everything was in this community: schools, churches, any kind of merchants, doctors, you name it, we had them here. And Celina was prosperous for this number of years, and then World War II came along, and we were still prosperous. But Celina was a very patriotic town. They scraped and they saved, and they realized the importance of being patriotic. And I can remember even in my young years when a scrap metal drive was held out on the square, where we still have our square. And everybody gave anything they had, and all that went to the war efforts.
During World War II, all of the orange dye was used to make life vests for the war. So for 1 year, a town that bleeds orange bled gold. During the 80s and 90s, retail businesses began to pick up. It has been steadily increasing since then.
Oh Lord, I wouldn't know where to start. On the square, and then the streets on the square has changed, and then the businesses, all new businesses on the square. It used to be, I guess, Shirley's and the hair shop and Isle, that'd be the only ones on the square that's been here the longest. And then everybody else is new.
Well, since I've been here, like I say, a little over 50 years ago, when I was here, Celina was only about 900 people when I came here. And my father was also the gas man, took care of all these towns at that time. So tremendous changes have been made. In the last 10 years, I've seen a lot of businesses come and go, but it seems like businesses are moving in now and moving to stay, and quite a bit of growth. I think we're somewhere around 5,000 now, a little more, and with the expected growth to be even larger.
With the expansion of the Dallas North Tollway and Preston Road, it does not look like Celina will stop expanding anytime soon. This has been Preston Morris with CISD-TV News.
Thanks, Preston. Later today, we can expect the square to be overflowing at the freight. Homecoming shirts will be for sale downtown as well.
They are $10 for regular sizes and $12 for larger sizes.
As you may have noticed, the halls of CHS have been much quieter lately. That may be because many students and faculty members have been out sick. CISD-TV reporter April Maher gives us tips about staying healthy.
With fall season in full swing, so many students here at Celina High School have been getting sick with only 7 weeks into the school year.
School has started. We've seen stomach viruses. That always comes around at the beginning of every year. We've had a few flu diagnoses so far, which is a little scary because we're early in the school year. Lots of allergies, sinus congestion, some strep throat, and a couple of cases of mono. One way to prevent transmission of germs is to wash your hands. Soap and water is the first choice if that's not available. Hand sanitizer is always a great option. The point is keep your hands clean. Don't share your food or your drinks, especially if you're not feeling well, and always sleeve your cough and your sneeze.
I lost my voice because of allergies and changing weather.
Here are some good tips to stay well.
Get plenty of sleep, drink lots of water, cover your mouth when you sneeze, and use hand sanitizer.
Just remember to cover your mouth and get plenty of rest. Get better, Bobcats. This is April Maher with CISD-TV News.
Thanks, April. Well, that's all the news we have for today, Bobcats. For CISD-TV News, I'm Andrew Reed.
And I'm Madeline Byers. We hope you all have an awesome homecoming. Good luck tonight, Bobcats. See you all at the homecoming dance. Stop! That's creepy. I get really creeped out when people do that.
Is that better?
Stop, Madeline. Stop. That creeps me out.
What, Courtney? What, Courtney?
You're shaking the whole desk.
I'm sorry, my foot is tapping and I can't stop. And it won't stop.
Hang on.
It's